Are you a home buyer or home seller in Winterville, North Carolina? If it's yes, this video is for you.
And also, we do these market updates, but since this is our December video, I want to quickly add in Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything. It's one of my favorite times of the season because I get to see so many pretty houses so decorated, and it makes me think I am not as decorative, as wonderful as all these homes that I see all the time. But anyway, with that, why do we do these market updates? We do these market updates to tell you what is happening in the market as we speak and do things right now. No?
Exactly.
So we want to give you the actual data because the actual data is something you will not see on these national news. We say what is happening in our small little town where we live, and we want to know what is exactly happening.
Exactly.
So with that, active homes, which are homes for sale currently in the city of Winterville, is going to be 77 at the end of November, which is, again, all we can do is look back on the past 30 days since this is a December video.
Exactly.
And the month before that, what was it?
And the months before that, 62 homes, and year before at this time was 76, which brings us to 1.3% more active homes, which is not that much. Therefore, we're now talking about the inventory rate.
Right, so the inventories. Now, when we look at pending, which means under contract, under contract means these homes, it typically takes 30 days to buy a home. It might take longer because they're buying new construction or whatever. But for pending homes, which are under contract homes, in the month of November that just happened, there was 36 under contract, which was really interesting to me because what happened the month before?
A month before was 33 homes, and year before at this time was 32, which is very close, and we are looking at 12.5% of actually increase from last year, 32 to 36.
Which is really interesting information because if you watch national news, they'll tell you that, pending homes, under contract homes are falling, right? People aren't buying homes. And yet when we look at the numbers of what's happening in our city, we see the opposite. We see 12.5% increase of contracts happening in the city of Winterville. So something's happening here that's not happening on the national news that you're not going to get. Now let's talk about sold homes.
Exactly. Recently sold home actually that closed in November was 22 homes, and in months of October, months before, was 41. Therefore, we definitely have less sold home, and last year was 47 homes.
Which is a really interesting number too. So what happened in the past 30 days there were less homes sold, but we see a lot more under contract now. So there was a 53% decrease, but we see a 12% increase for next month. So we do see some shifting, but if we had watched our video last month, we saw some change, and it's now just reflected in the sold homes.
Exactly.
Anyway, there is still a lot of people coming to Winterville. We have pretty much less homes for sale than last year. We have a lot of more contracts happening. It's just less homes sold last month.
And now we wanted to talk about inventory
Before
rate.
we get to the inventory rate, I think we should do our introduction.
And let's hit it.
Hi, it's Alan Vitaro. Welcome to our TLM podcast.
And if this is your first time in our podcast and YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and make notify.
Yes. Please don't hesitate to call us at 252-327-3357. Also, don't forget to get our buyer's guide and seller's guide in the description below. Now that we've done that, let's talk about inventory rate.
Yes, therefore, the inventory rate, which is also that how much of the supply we have in months of November, was 5.13 months, which is
almost to a buyer's market, but not quite because it takes 6. But that is the closest number I have seen in Winterville in a while, which means there's deals, right?
Exactly.
Now,
the last month was 2.37. That means we have more inventory respect to last year, and also the sold home was the last year. This time was 2.29.
Right. So now let's talk about the other thing that people care about is days on market. So how long does it take for the house to actually sell in Winterville? And this number has changed differently this month. Not that much from last month. Of course, a lot since last year when interest rates were much lower.
Exactly.
So average days on market in November 2023 was 37 days. October, the month before that, was 35. The year before this, just to give you comparison, was 16. So there's a huge increase in days on the market. However, just to caveat that, we have a lot of new construction in Winterville, and new construction by its nature takes longer because it's not just somebody needs to move, it is a little bit more detailed than that because you have to build the home.
Exactly. And the next thing that we wanted to talk is about sold price and list price. The sold price is the one that really actually sold in the market, and list price what the seller wished for to sell in the market. And saying that, in month of November that just we finished, the list price was $365,100, and a month before in October was $352,600, and last year at this time was $359,950.
I think we should also point out that we are looking at the median. This is not weighted numbers, so there's shacks to mansions. So these are just when we look at the middle numbers, what the middle numbers are. And so there is not necessarily the same house. So this, I just want to give that clear, because the house that was listed for $365,100, which was the median, did not actually sell for the median sale price, which was $261,450. They're going to be different addresses. We're just looking at numbers in the middle.
Middle, yes.
Right, so just so we're clear on this. So between shacks and mansions.
And
now tell us
what is about the sold price?
I just said November was $261,450. What about the month before that?
A month before that was $325,000, and year at this time was $270,000, which brings us to 3.17% of change decrease.
Okay, so let's talk about price per square foot for single family homes versus pre-owned homes, and then all homes, all condos and townhomes. Now, just to give you comparison, there is not a lot of single family homes that are going to be townhouses and condos in our area. So the new home is going to be
at least at the time of this video.
And yeah, they are coming, but they don't have them right now. But pre-owned, of course, they do exist. So those are going to be slightly different numbers. So with single family homes, brand new, all construction, because all it is new single is what?
178.
Now for pre-owned, including condos and townhomes, it was 160. Now without the condo, just single family homes in Winterville, what was it?
$174 per square feet.
So you can see the huge difference there. Now let's talk about how much, I said new construction before, so now I look at it and say, okay, how much new construction is actually there versus pre-owned homes? And this kind of gives us more details of what is happening in our market.
Yes.
Now for Winterville, there was 3.9 months of supply of new construction. So we told you there was 5 altogether, and look, 3.9% is new construction. It takes longer for a new construction to actually get into the hands of somebody.
Exactly.
What about previously owned?
And previously owned, we had just 1.1 months of supply.
If we compare it to last month, just the month before, you see 3.7 months of supply, but previously owned was what?
Previously owned was just 0.8 months.
So you do see a lot of these homes in Winterville are going to be absolutely new construction. Now let's talk about mean. Mean means weighted.
Means weighted, as my wife said, and we wanted to talk about the home values in Winterville, North Carolina. In months of November, this we finished was $271,792.
Absolutely. And what about the month before that?
A month before that was very close, $271,587.
And yet it still increased. And what about last year?
And last year at this time was $259,624. Therefore, how much of the increase we had?
5.3% of homes appreciated in Winterville every single month, which is great. So we still see appreciation happening here. Homes are still increasing, and it's been in the past year 5.3%. Now, what about rent?
Rent went hotter in the market for the Winterville. We reached the median. Again, this is the median. We have $4,000 also rent, but the median was $1,600. And we had increase of $50 months over months.
Which is an interesting number too, because if you're paying $1,600, I heard my husband say this to somebody on the phone this month, and I'm just going to share it here too. Somebody paid, when we bought our first home, it wasn't brand new, and we had ended up paying $1,850 a month to own our own home, so we could raise our kids in this home, right?
Exactly.
So it was, when I look at $1,600, I'm thinking that is almost what we paid in rent before we became homeowners.
Exactly.
So we did take the plunge. We didn't like that we paid more every single month, of course, but ultimately it paid off in our difference. And we've got appreciation, everything else, and we've bought other homes since then. But I want to say it will happen for you too. So sometimes you have to take a leap of faith that everything is going to be okay when we're buying a home. And with that, now let's talk about if you are a home buyer, and I will do home buyers, you can do home sellers. Now, if you're a home buyer, remember, there's not a lot of inventory unless you're buying new, and then there's a little bit more options for you. So we have a lot of new construction in the area. We are looking at pricing dynamics, so we're going to understand that you have to get pre-approved. We have to be talking about what you can afford, not just what you think you can afford, what you can actually afford. And we also have to think about our long-term value. So as I told you, we had to take a leap of faith in order to pay more for our single-family home that we wanted. Ultimately, it paid off, and we're so excited that we did that. And so you have to sometimes take that leap of faith and think about that long-term and not just what is happening for you at this moment. Now, if you're a home seller, why is now a good time?
The home seller, as we said, is still, we had 5.3% appreciation
but most
from
of it was
last year.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're looking again in the market, it's still we are in the buyer's market, meaning that most of the house that comes to the market,
Seller's market.
They go with the least price.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, it's very important that you do your due diligence, stage your house, clean up your house, make sure any repair that is being done, like a painting or any small or bigger project that you need to take on those projects if you want a top dollar, and make sure that you come with the right number for your house, because this is very important that we make sure those numbers are correct when it hits the market.
Absolutely. So we love making these videos for you. We love talking about our area and what's going on in Winterville. We live here ourselves, so we are super happy to give you all this information. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also don't forget to call us.
And see you
at
next
252-327-3357.
Thank you, and for everything, see you in the next podcast and video.